There's so much we don't understand in the universe, but one thing is for certain. Everything, absolutely everything, starts with energy. At Life Harmony Energies, we specialize in raising the vibrations of all the energies within and around you to bring health and harmony to your world. We make very special products infused with what is known as bioresonance energy. And this energy radiates from our products into your world and your life.
Angela, thank you. Thank you so much for coming onto my podcast. This is definitely a topic that I've been wanting to look into for a really, really long time. It's been something that I've been kind of looking into for a while, and it's really interesting and really fascinating in terms of how it works. And I've been reading a lot about quantum science and stuff like that, quantum physics and how it works. And it's definitely, it all makes sense. And for me, it's just like a no-brainer. Why would people not want to use these? Because we're all, well, I know some of us are affected more than others, but we're all affected by EMF frequencies and all types of frequencies. So firstly, walk me through what are some of the main things, key moments in your life that kind of took you to where you are now in terms of your work and working with the EMF technologies?
Well, that's a really good question. And yeah, you summarized, you led into the product, the problem, I should say, really well, the EMFs. And you're absolutely right. Some people are really sensitive to this frequency, these man-made frequencies that produce radiation, harmful radiation in our world. And other people really aren't that sensitive. Like they may not feel it directly, they may feel it very indirectly, and may never even connect the two, the problem to, the original problem to the things that are showing up and happening in their body and mind and life. So it's a really challenging situation for me, especially because I came to this through the universe just led me here, honestly. I never thought to myself, when I grow up, I want to be selling and talking about EMF protection products or energetic jewelry. It was never my, on my vision board, but, I'm just somebody that is prompted by the universe and prompted by how I feel inside, which is, as you know, an energetic conversation, whether we know that or not. So I came from the world of meditation, spirituality. I was a meditation teacher for 8 years, a student of meditation for much longer. And life just, arranged itself so that I got to have this opportunity with this amazing company. Before, I was really helping people learn how to connect to their inner wisdom through meditation, connect to stillness. And as most of you and your audience probably know, that is a profoundly powerful practice. And it really does get to the energetic level. I mean, we really are getting in touch with energy at subtlest levels. So while you might not even understand what that means, you notice the effects. So anyway, I've taught people meditation and how to connect that way, and learning about the subtle body and subtle energy. And I just decided it was time for a change. I was getting kind of burned out being a teacher on the spiritual path, because it's very intense energetically. Which I loved it, but it was just, I was starting to get burned out. So the universe was asking me to move on. And I came to this beautiful company. It was a hunch. I had a hunch that I followed, sort of like listening to your inner wisdom or your intuition. And I jumped in, and it's been a life-changing thing for me. So now I get to talk about another level of energetic and spiritual health that I really wasn't even aware of until I came into the company. So it's really been a learning experience for me too.
Wow, that's so interesting. And I love that you came from this background of meditation and spirituality. And I think they're both so connected, isn't it? Because even though we think technology and spirituality, they're two different things, but actually they're very connected. And I think what you're doing right now kind of proves this, that it can be very, they're two things that can work together really, really well if we know how to use them. And so did you ever what were your kind of first, I guess, before you started working with Life Harmony, did you experience any sort of negative effects of EMF yourself? And what were those? When was the first time you experienced it and you thought, oh, wow, this is actually affecting me?
Well, again, I am not one that is super sensitive to energy. Actually, now I know I am more sensitive than I thought. So once I started cleaning up my body, my home, my food and water from working on shifting the energy from negative to positive, I started noticing the difference. So I didn't notice it until I started working on it. Does that make sense? So I in this business, I talk to people every single day who literally have a hard time functioning in the world right now because they're so highly sensitive. Again, that's not me. I'm not as sensitive in that way, but I did start to notice, okay, I don't have the brain fog. I don't have as much brain fog. I'm a little more focused. I'm sleeping better. My food and water, I feel, is digesting better. Overall, I just feel more balanced and clear. So when I took care of that, the EMFs that are coming out of my phone, coming out of my router, I've taken care of the EMFs coming out of my battery powered car, taking care of the electricity running through my apartment. Then I have a sense of just I can relax. Everything's okay. A sense of well-being, I guess. And I don't know how it affects everyone. I just know how I think it was affecting me was that it was keeping me awake at night. It was not helping any sort of anxiety that I might be prone to. I'm not really prone to anxiety, but during really stressful times in my life, it can be one of those things that, can affect me. I can start feeling more anxiety. So it just kind of made the negative things that were going on in my life a little bit worse. And now that I've mitigated it, I definitely feel like, I have a little more empowerment when I'm in my home. I feel a little more peaceful. I can think clearer. I'm having more fun. So it's a really personal thing. I mean, that's for sure. Like I said, a lot of the people we talk to have, migraines every time they get in their electric car and they don't know why. And they finally figure it out. Oh my gosh, it's the EMFs. Or they are not able to hold their cell phone for very long because they get shooting pains up their arms.
Oh, wow.
So it's different for everybody.
Oh yeah, I've definitely experienced some of those. And actually, I've seen it really clearly in the last kind of 2 years or so, because so now that I'm living in Spain, I go back to London to see my family and to stay with my sister and stuff. And my sister, in their home, they have a lot of electronic equipment, like a lot. And I've noticed ever since I've been staying there, I've started especially for the first week, I start to get really bad headaches. I start to like this brain fog, and I'm not able to sleep, and it's just so pronounced that in the beginning I was like, God, what is this? And then I started to realize, oh God, it's the EMFs, because they have a smart meter, they have a lot of just a lot of electronic devices, the Wi-Fi, and I realized it's the EMF. And it happens always whenever I go to stay there. And it's just like, oh, okay, now I have to brace myself.
Yeah, it's true. And, there's a low level. It's like over time, that low level over time is really, it starts to be, it might not affect some people right away, but over time, and those constant low levels, I mean, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. It does manifest negatively in your mind and body and spirit, and ultimately your life. It's just really challenging to, draw the conclusion back to, oh, this is the problem, because at least in the United States right now, we're just starting to talk about it. And it is a conversation that's catching on because people are connecting the dots.
Yeah.
But it definitely is, something we all need to be thinking about.
Yes, definitely. And I remember actually read an article some time ago about, it was somewhere in the US, I don't remember exactly where, but they had installed in like a block of flats, smart meters. And people reported that within, you know, the first kind of month, a lot of the people started getting headaches. They were not able to sleep. So they actually complained and tried to get these smart meters, you know, changed back to normal. And there was I think they did like a whole lawsuit and stuff. And yeah, I don't remember the exact story, but there was definitely a lot of reports that I came across of people really suffering from those EMFs. So yeah, it's
Totally.
definitely having an effect on us.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, it's going to be a while before it's mainstream common knowledge here, you know, just like, you know, smoking, I guess, you know, it took a while for people to realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't be smoking every day all the time. And one of these days people are going to be realizing, oh, well, all of this I'm literally swimming in a sea of this man-made radiation, and we got to do something about that, because it's going to cost us something. There's consequences, whether you feel it, you know, whether you're a highly sensitive person or not, it's still out there, and you're still, you know, suffering the consequences at some level. And I know that sounds really negative. I'm not a negative person. I'm like the most positive person in the world and optimistic, but you know, we can't ignore it. We just have to take care of it.
Yes, definitely. And I think now also the kids, sort of the new generation that is coming in, they're a lot more sensitive from everything I've been seeing and hearing. And also my own nephews that I have, they are so sensitive to everything. So it's like, oh yeah, I can just imagine how much that's already affecting them. So it's just horrible to think the stuff that's, yeah, it's already going through their, you know, brain, through their system. And so yeah, that's definitely worrying.
For sure.
So, tell me a little bit more about how exactly does the technology work? I know this kind of, you know, the whole bioresonance sort of field. How exactly does that work with all the jewelry and stuff like that? How is it implemented into it?
Well, yeah, that's really our, you know, our secret sauce as a company. We have a proprietary technology that has been we've mastered and we've been using successfully for over 2 decades. It originated in Eastern Europe, and we have a literal energy lab in Eastern Europe, which is why I'm in Europe a lot. And we have a team of people that you know, have a very regimented, specific process for installing the energetic frequencies inside of our materials and our products. So it's exactly right what you said. Bioresonance is the term that you could use to explain it. And what essentially happens is, after the products have gone through the energy lab, and they are energized, as we say, they're just literally infused with energetic information. So they can call that frequencies, information, what have you. Then it's indefinite. The energy is indefinite. So it never like runs out, or some other companies have products that have to be recharged. Ours isn't like that. It is permanently installed in the materials. And then when you start, let's say, wearing the jewelry, so this is my EMF protection cuff, and it's just a beautiful, you know, modern cuff that we just designed, and it comes in silver and gold. And when I put that on my wrist, it's designed to work with my meridian system. So these important points like acupressure or acupuncture, you know, those similar points that they use to influence energy in your body for energy healing and therapy. This is actually doing the same thing, just because it's close to that meridian center in your body. And so that energy is now, what we say, resonating with me, with my body, with my energetic body. So whenever I wear it, and I wear it every day, and I wear it to bed, it's my, like, it picks up my energetic signature, and it starts to work with my energy in a positive way. So whatever is being compromised in my energetic body, this bracelet is now mitigating that, because of the frequencies in here designed to do that. It has like, these energies have a job to do. And when I'm wearing the bracelet, they work with my body to do their job. So it's a really synergistic product, especially the jewelry. It's really powerful. And why we are so passionate about it is because when you're wearing the jewelry, this is one of the beautiful, the same EMF protection technology, just in a beautiful little
wow.
pendant.
It's really elegant.
It is very elegant and beautiful and super simple. So we want people to wear this everywhere because like I said, you can't escape EMF radiation. It's everywhere you are, wherever you go, except if you're like out in the woods and, you're not around any civilization. You're just with nature. I mean, that's the best place to be, but we can't live our life like that every day, most of us. So anyway, that's why we want people to wear these pieces every day so that no matter where they go, that energy is working to protect them and protect their health from EMF radiation. And so another product we have, I'll just show you on my cell phone, is this is just for the cell phone. So there's a little chip back here.
Oh yeah,
and this is loaded again with the technology that will work to kind of mitigate the EMF radiation coming from the cell phone. So it's just really at the cell phone level. Yeah. So let's say, you're with your daughter and you hand her the phone and she doesn't have any other EMF protection on. At least the phone is not going to be, a big EMF problem for her. She should still be wearing the jewelry because if she's somewhere like a coffee shop or whatever and, bathing in all that radiation, she needs to have that protection. But anyway, so we have products that work at just the level of the device, like cell phone, router, your home, the electrical system in your home, your wireless, earbuds.
Yeah.
We have stickers for those, and that's really super important because it's so close to your brain. The car, even for your pets.
Yeah. So the little pet, the names.
Yeah. And those are all, all the technology, the technological process is the same. The information. So this is where it gets a little where we get into our two different brands. EMF Harmony, EMF-harmony.com is where we sell, the stickers for all the devices. It's just EMF protection. It's all it is. It's really robust and you can get everything you need. For energized.com, we're sister brands. We're under the same company. We have two brands. That's where you get into the beautiful, more, well-styled jewelry.
Yeah, the more elegant stuff.
The lifestyle products.
Yeah.
So when you get into Life Harmony Energies, then that energetic information that's inside everything, like this is our Be Still and Know Onyx bracelet. The energy inside this bracelet is going to be different than the energy inside this bracelet. So they have different intentions.
Okay.
But they still resonate with my body and give me the energetic boost or the energetic help that I'm looking for. And that's why Life Harmony Energies is so compelling, is because you can say, I really would like energy to help me manifest my intentions more. Or I really want energy to help me during my meditation practice, or I really want energy for my, my immune system, things like that. You can really get specific about it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you can actually kind of attune it to whatever you want for the energy to flow into. Oh, wow. That's really,
that's true.
High level.
It all works together. So it all plays nice together. But still, the most important thing is at the foundation, you need the EMF protection because it's really hard to make those like quantum leaps in your health and in your spirituality and in your life if you're just being bombarded. I mean, just think of all the energy that your mind and body and spirit is taking just to keep you healthy with all of this toxicity, this toxic load. And that's why you need EMF radiation as a baseline level protection, just because it's going to give your mind, body, and spirit, it's going to give you more energy for all the other things that, you want to be doing in your life.
Oh yes, totally. I completely agree with that. And I think, well, we've probably all of us by now have experienced some sort of negative effects from not having like an aligned energetic system. I guess probably not everyone actually understands that's what it is, but I guess with us working in spirituality, and I've also worked a lot with energy work and Reiki and stuff like that. And I know your aura can kind of develop kind of these like holes where it's like an energy leak, and you can be leaking out energy and other energies can be coming in.
Yeah.
So there's a lot,
Yes.
it can definitely getting into the nitty-gritty of that, it can get very it can get quite dangerous, even because you can actually develop illnesses through that. So it's definitely not.
Yes. That's a really good point. I mean, we need to take care of our energy. We need to take care of ourselves energetically. It's a conversation that that's not in mainstream, health conversations, health or well-being conversations. We look at things from the physical level, like everything's at the surface level. I got to touch it, feel it, smell it, eat. I got to have, something to hold on to. And energy work is obviously different, as you know, because it's the subtle level. It's not anything that you really can touch
Yeah.
roll in your hand. I mean, for
You
most
can
of
feel.
us.
Yeah.
And you do. I
Mhm.
mean, it's from the energy body is from, and the energy in the universe is what everything manifests from.
Mhm.
So if you're planting seeds in toxic soil, so to speak, your plants are probably going to have a hard time thriving. So
Mhm.
we really want people to think about that, their energy, their body. We want people to start thinking about themselves
Mhm.
as an energetic being. And we have, that's what our products are designed to do. In fact, when you said holes in your aura and your energy field, we have these amazing sprays that are filled with bioresonance energy for things like that to protect. One's called aura protection, as a matter of fact, and one's called energy clearing. So they're really designed and targeted for these very specific things,
Mhm.
and super, super helpful.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things I loved also about the website and everything that you guys offer, is that it's so versatile. You have jewelry, you have sprays, you have things for the home. So it's really just covers everything, which is really
Yeah.
handy. So
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about this company and this brand is that we want to look at it from a holistic point of view. We want to look at it from your body, and what you're putting in your body, which is why we have harmonizers for your food and water.
mhm.
And then we want to look at your atmosphere. We want to look at the home space and even your pets and your car. So we're trying to take care of everything so
Cover
that
everything.
you can really feel the benefits.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And yes, and I can't wait to try mine and see test them out for myself. And we actually have, where I'm living here, we have a 5G tower really close to where I live, and it's been driving me insane. Sometimes
Right.
I don't know what they do, but sometimes they seem to turn it up or something. But there's days where literally both me and my flatmate will come out of our rooms in the morning and we'll be like, I could not sleep last night. Could you? No. And clearly
Um,
there's just something with the energies that's just not great. So yeah, I think that would
those
be.
are really, really strong emitters.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are having problems now that they're going up just everywhere.
Yeah,
So, mm.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. And I think yeah, for me, I think I've definitely seen, the times when when I can see that my energy is not I would say it's like broken or leaky. I can definitely see the difference. And yeah, I just can't think straight. It's like my mind, I'm trying to focus on something and I just can't. My mind is just like floating from one thing to another, and I'll feel this icky kind of feeling in my body. And then it's only when I try to, when I actually sit down to meditate, or when I go to the beach, or when I'm in nature, then I really feel like, oh, I can finally breathe now. There's this kind of
Yes,
feeling.
exactly,
Mm,
exactly. And all the other practices that we have are going to feel so much more potent
mm,
when, we're taking care of that toxicity, that energetic toxicity
yeah.
that, like I said, is everywhere. That's why it's really important. It's not the only thing we need to do, obviously, taking care of our energy, but it's in my, what I've come to understand and know from personal experience is it's just as important as my meditation practice. So, you know, it's why I don't eat, you know, Snickers bars every single day, because I know that, you know, all that sugar is just, it's just a lifestyle change, right? I'm not gonna do that to myself.
Yeah.
And we start to think about ourselves as an energetic being, then you're sort of like, oh, what am I doing to help my energy, or what am I doing that's not helping my energy? And it's just a shift in mindset. And that's a challenge for us to talk to people about that, because, you know, you get it, I get it, but not every, you know, a lot of people think it's completely, they just don't understand. So having that conversation in a way that helps people understand is really what we're here to do right now.
Yes, definitely. And how would you say, how would you start this conversation with someone who has no idea about it? Because I definitely have, and I've been, you know, even within my own family, people still don't really believe in stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, oh.
Yeah, it's challenging. And you know, one of the things I learned as a meditation teacher is you don't offer advice until you're asked for it. And that's really true. I mean, when I became a meditator, I was an evangelist, meaning I wanted everyone to know about it. Hey, you should meditate. You should meditate. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Right. They just want to see what you have to wait until they see you happy and healthy and you're living your best life, so to speak. What's going on with you? You know, how come you're, you know, what are you doing that makes you so happy? And that's an invitation. That's a door opening. So, I mean, it is tricky to have the conversation, but, you know, if people are asking me directly, what I like to say is just ask them to start to get in touch with their own, like, do you ever have that feeling when you walk into a room that's, you know, you feel something's off, or you feel like, oh, I got to get out of here, or you feel attracted to somebody and you want to go say hi? That's energy. You are already in touch with your own energy. You just don't think about it that way. So helping them just bring it down to earth and find, you know, realize, oh yeah, duh, I know what that gut feeling is. Or I know when I, you know, just feel something's off, or when I really feel excited about something and I want to move towards it. That's all energy at play. So about the EMF conversation, you know, that again is a tricky one to have if you're talking to somebody who's just a skeptic and isn't willing to have an open mind. I have found that, you know, you just let the universe bring them to the information when they're ready. And that usually works great. If they are asking about it and they're open, they're almost like immediately receptive. They're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But it's almost like they have to have their mind open and their ears have to be ready to hear it. Same thing with like things like meditation too.
Totally. That's exactly what I found as well. Since I've been on this kind of spirituality path, and I'm always like, I used to say to my friends, oh, you should try this and try that. And people were kind of like, oh, yeah. But it's not until they actually see the change in you and they're like, oh, so what was that you said you used to do, you know? And then you're like, okay.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's, you know, I have had to step back and really remind myself that, you know, I got to trust that their path is their path, right? If they're just going to be hardcore skeptic and very negative, no, that's just where they're at. And that's not my job to change their path. They're on their own path and the universe is taking care of them. And I'll be here if and when they're ready.
Totally. And actually what I've seen in my own life, because for example, my sister, she was very much on the scientific side, and she was, you know, she works in mental health and sort of that side, and I'm more in the spiritual side. So we kind of went like this, and, you know, I was trying to bring her back into my way, like, no, come to spirituality. But actually what happened is we ended up going kind of like this. And in the last kind of 2 years, I've stepped away a little bit from spirituality, because there are some things that I found in the whole spiritual field, in the new age stuff, that are not as helpful. And I definitely took a step back to kind of, okay, what's for me, what's not for me. And at the same time, my sister started to see there was some things that were actually very helpful from the spiritual field, and, you know, the energy stuff a little bit, you know, so we kind of came together a little bit like this. So it's really, it's really
That
interesting
is,
how it works. And now we can both talk
yeah.
about these things, and it's like, yes, you know, so it's really
I
interesting.
love that so much. I mean, that's been what I've known to be true. That has, I can't remember, I can't remember the name of the person that wrote this, but he says everything that rises must converge. So as we all grow, no matter where we are, we all end up at the same place.
Yeah.
And that is such a beautiful, wow, like mind-blowing thing with that. The universe is so smart, right? It's just like everybody has their own path and their own mountain and their own language, their own way of understanding the universe. But at the end of the day, we all come to the same place.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Totally, yeah. And kind of one of the last things I wanted to know is, where do you see kind of the future of technology and spirituality in the next 10 years? Do you think there's going to be a lot more of this kind of holistic science coming together, and more of these type of companies coming up?
I would hope so. The world is really run, and especially in the US, and I don't mean this negatively, although I think it can be, we're governed by the mighty dollar, and everything we do is really boils down to that in the grand scheme of things.
Mhm.
So if some companies can figure out, like some mega car company that's, putting electric cars out there, can figure out how to totally mitigate the EMFs that are, it's like riding around in a microwave oven, those electric cars. They can just have that conversation and then install something that helps with that, and just not, and they're not going to do that right now because it's just too controversial. But that's what it's going to take. Like, somebody's going to have to really be willing to take a risk, and get out there and say, this is real and we're going to do something about it. And, it's going to swing. It's probably going to swing that way. It's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a while. As far as spirituality goes, my personal feeling is that we're definitely moving towards a more holistic spirituality as humans. At least what I've seen here in the US, our religion, our churches are sort of struggling to get people, because people don't want to be boxed in a silo. So this kind of universal way to look at themselves and the universe, and spiritually speaking, I think is really attractive to a lot of people. So I think that we are going to grow more holistic, more open-minded, more inclusive. And I think that's a couple generations from now. And I think that's a really good thing. Honestly, I think that's a really good thing. So as far as the future of, like what we're doing here with energy jewelry, I hope it's more common. I hope it's more part of, like, oh yeah, I just need to get some EMF protection. And it's a small subset of people that are having the conversation, but over time, it's gonna grow, and it's gonna keep become one of those, like, no-brainer things. And that's a good thing too. So yeah, I think I do believe we're all just moving towards, we're evolving. And the ones that, we're evolving as it's relevant for us to evolve according to the, what the universe has in mind or in store. And the things that are no longer relevant, as they say in spiritual, like Vedic spirituality, those things that are no longer relevant will fall away. So the universe is always evolving, whether we agree with that or not, or want to or not. Change is the way that the universe works. So we are we are evolving. It just, who knows what the timeline is, right? Who knows how long it's going to take? Because it's really not up to us.
Yeah, totally. Well, I do hope it's sooner rather than later, because I think definitely a lot of people can use these very useful technologies. But yeah, no, that's really interesting, and I hope and what you guys are doing with Life Harmony and EMF Harmony is really incredible. So I really do hope many people learn about this. And speaking of which, I know you have a little present for some of my viewers.
Yes.
So hopefully, if everyone stays until the end, they get this extra special bonus.
Yes. So we have two websites. One is emf-harmony.com. That is pure EMF protection. And you can use the code Katalyst with a K. So it's Katalyst on that website and get 20% off your purchase of EMF protection products. We do ship worldwide through that brand, US and elsewhere. So all of you who are not tuning in from the US and other parts of the world, you can order from emf-harmony.com and can get product. Life Harmony Energies, on the other hand, only ships in the US right now. Hopefully we will be growing enough soon that we can ship worldwide, but lifeharmonyenergies.com, you can use that same code, Katalyst, Katalyst. And for those in the US, can get 20% off your order there. So that's what I have for you today. And I hope, and I'm always here. If anyone has questions, you can reach out to us through our website. And we have a very small team, like 4 of us. So one of us will be getting back to you to help in any way we can.
Amazing. And I'll post all of the links to the website down in the description as well, so people can check both websites out. But right, thank you so much, Angela. Is there any last words you want to share?
No, I guess I just feel really blessed and grateful that we get to have these conversations and bring, people into the light and bring people into the positive. And there really is a scale that we are on, and our energy is on in any given time of the day. And the more we can do to lift ourselves up to these higher levels, realms of energy, the much better our life will be, and the much better people will be, and the better relationships we'll have. And that's what it's all about for me.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.